watching Septum Sen versus the World. I'm Septum Sen. I'm here with Kotobuki Jake.
Hi.
And we are here to get you informed about what's coming out in the next week in movies, on physical release, DVD, Blu-ray, etc. So did you see anything that you particularly liked this coming out this following week?
As far as the upcoming?
Yeah, as far as the upcoming.
Well, some of these are interesting. The one that I'm probably most intrigued about, actually, I saw a preview for this the other day, and it looks delightfully twisted. Is a movie called Thoroughbreds. Stars Anya Taylor-Joy, who starred in Split, and is playing Illyana Rasputin in New Mutants. And it also co-stars... Shoot, I'm drawing a blank on the other one, but it's someone else that was interesting.
That other person.
That other person, exactly. And I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to Black Butler, Book of the Atlantic. Don't much care for zombie stories in general, but Black Butler is quite an entertaining manga. And I like how they are now actually doing manga-centric stories. I think this was a one-off special, right? Like a movie-length special. We got Satellite Girl and Milk Cow. That's all you need to know. That title's awesome. I don't know what the movie's about. I've got to see it. A new installment of My Hero Academia, which also is a great manga, and I want to see it.
I just hate seeing them go this slow route.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, they need to hurry up and release full season titles so I can get it. Because I don't want to do this split season thing.
Oh, it's a great anime. I mean, I've been watching the new season as it's been unfolding, and it is really good.
We have the new adaptation of A Wrinkle in Time. It was not the most popular film of the year by any means.
Actually, that one was weird because it had a ton of hype
behind
it. I mean, especially with the actress. I can't remember what her name was, but it was just this whole like phenomenon that they were just putting up, and then it just...
That's because the book is so popular with so many people, and they've tried a couple times, I believe, and never really gotten it right, and everyone was hoping this time they get it right.
No, they fizzle. The difference here is that this one particularly is getting an early release on physical media at Target, of all places. So,
because that makes sense.
Yeah, well, some people, they pay for that right to get an exclusive. And there are some things. I mean, I think like I said, the main actress was one of the big buzzes that they had along this. I can't remember much about it. Now, South Park is continuing its romp with season 21.
Season 21.
And I've heard some good things about the Awesomes.
They're trying to. I guess they're trying to. With their seasons, they're trying to match Meryl Streep Oscar nomination, kind of.
Well, I mean, if you really want to say that, just look at The Simpsons.
Oh, Simpsons going more for the John Williams score. But yeah, and then we got speaking of shows, animated shows that are classics. Avatar's getting its first Blu-ray release.
Yay!
That's exciting. I still don't have Avatar, so I might have to get it this way.
Yeah, it looks really good. I've still got the old releases. I thought, hey, I'm getting them cheap at $20 a book. Well, it's just like my purchasing of, Soul Eater. Where I thought $25 a volume for a 4-volume was cheap. It's just, some of these things, they get cheaper and cheaper.
Okay. Oh, yeah, Gringo. I remember seeing stuff about that. Well, that's all I have to say on that one. And Anonymous Noise has a cute girl and a guitar on the cover, so that could be interesting. But yeah, and Ruby has been pretty popular. I haven't seen it, but I've seen a lot about it.
Volume 4 and 5 has been going on without one of the major creators behind it.
Oh, okay.
You know, the one who did die over at Rooster Teeth. And
okay.
And he was behind it majorly when it started for those first 3 volumes. But the series continues. And for that, we will show you everything else that we saw is coming out right now. Well, I hope you enjoyed that nice shift over to what's been released. Of course, if you have anything that you thought we've missed, we do miss things now and again, and there are some independent projects that come out I would love to hear about when they come out on DVD and Blu-ray. I try to bring them up if I hear about them, but again, nothing as of yet has caught my memory, at least anyway.
Right.
Other than that, I think we're done with that section, and now let's get on with the with the deaths, and then on to the news.
Okay.
So let's take a look. We didn't have time to really do a lot of research. There are a couple of them that were notorious that had passed.
Notorious.
Well,
ooh, I don't remember that, but one notable one was Tom Wolfe, writer who wrote The Bonfire, The Vanities, and The Right Stuff.
So when was that? Is that on here?
Yeah, he's right there on the bottom.
Oh,
we were trying to go past it. And that was, he was 88, and this is what, the 14th that we're looking at here?
Yep.
Okay.
Indian actor Kalasala Babu had died at 68 on that day. And then there's Peter Byrne, died at age 90. Was a actor and director, English actor and director for Dixon of Dock Green.
Can't say I know that one.
So let's move on to the 15th. So let's see here. Let me know if you see anything that's... there's a Dokten Kanyanarn.
Kanyaman?
Which died at age 94. He was a Thai film director and actor. Let's see here.
You can definitely move it a little faster than that.
I can't see it.
So we're going on to the 16th here.
Lucian Pentile, Romanian film director. Age 84, did things such as The Reenactment, An Unforgettable Summer, and Next Up Paradise. Let's see here. Was it Eloisa Mafalda? I'm probably butchering that. It's Brazilian. A Brazilian actress, died at age 93.
Yes. Yoriko Hoshi, Japanese actress who starred in Mothra vs. Godzilla and some other monster films. She was 74.
Hey, that's some fun stuff right there.
Yeah. Actually, we have some other Godzilla news coming up, so we'll go ahead and let's see here.
Let's see.
This one had caught my eye. Joseph Campanella, 93-year-old supporting actor who's in a lot of stuff. Mannix, Days of Our Lives, etc., etc. Parkinson's apparently was the thing there.
It is a degenerative disease. I mean, it does.
He got to a good age for Parkinson's, actually.
Let's see here. There's a lot to catch up on when it comes to these to the people who have actually passed.
We're probably missing some of the ones that you would know. This is, but we try to highlight the ones that.
So we don't have as much clickiness.
We
as
have
I'm
a little
moving.
more to go on.
I will just keep moving this, and I will let you try
Yeah.
and grab them because it's a lot easier than me trying to actually.
Right.
So we're actually moving quite quickly.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can kind of take a break there. Patricia Morrison, 103.
Oh, that's pretty
She
old.
was in
that's it.
Kiss Me Kate and the Song of Bernadette. So
So was that
that's
in?
a
Was
little
that
way back.
the 20th?
This is the 20th. Yep.
All right.
And
Clint
Oh,
Walker for Cheyenne and the Dirty Dozen and Small Soldiers. All right. Well,
yeah. No, that's the 20th. But you skipped ahead a little bit.
21st.
I do want to say on the 20th also, Bill Gold, 97, supposedly was one of the people responsible for the modern film poster. Like he did some of what are considered classic posters. He
The
died from
Exorcist.
complications from Alzheimer's. Yeah, Exorcist, Casablanca. I believe I saw he had done Clockwork Orange. He did Streetcar Named Desire. So yeah, that's some good ones. Yeah, then Clint Walker on the 21st.
Yep.
This one,
This one.
Alan Ann McClary, 91. She was in a few things, including They Shoot Horses, Don't They? The Way We Were, All the President's Men, Jeremiah Johnson. Not a starring name, but had been in a lot of high-profile stuff.
You've got the Alexander Ivankin, 65, Russian documentary film director and writer. For those who actually follow some of those. Let's see, Anna Maria Ferrero, an Italian actress, died at age 84. She was known for the Violent Patriot, Bad Girls Don't Cry, Love and Larceny. There's another one, Alexander Oskoldov,
Alexandra Oskoldov.
85, actor and director of Commissar. I swear I've heard of that one.
Okay.
Then you've got Himu Adhikari, age 81, Indian actor. So, moving on to later on in the month.
Oh, Elizabeth Sung. This is the 22nd.
Memoirs of a Geisha.
63, yeah. Memoirs of a Geisha and The Young and the Restless and Lethal Weapon 4. How's that for a combination of credits? And then, Philip Roth is pretty well known.
Yeah.
American writer, is 85, wrote The Human Stain, among other things.
Tazin Ahmed, 42, Bangladeshi actress.
Heart Attack 42.
That's kind of...
Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
There's an American writer, Richard Peck.
Yep.
A Year Down Yonder, A Long Way from Chicago. The Ghost Belonged to Me.
And he was a Nobel medalist, which is quite notable.
Let's see here. And... Now, there was somebody that passed today I was telling you about. Who was that?
Okay, we have someone here named Total Biscuit.
Oh, yes. He was
Gamer
actually...
reviewer.
24.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah.
he actually is quite notable on the YouTube circuits.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it's a... He actually was well loved by the community. So, great respect to him. He actually did his last video not long before his death.
Died at 33 of bowel cancer?
Yep.
Ooh.
Matter of fact, he actually had said he was going to cut back, especially because of this,
Right.
because things were intensifying. He had a pretty sad video
I
related to
cried
that.
when he died.
Yep, that's my wife in the background.
Okay.
Yeah, that is one worth mentioning on that. That was the 24th. Let's see here. Kathy Clark, American news anchor.
Okay, now. Oh.
Did you mention
No,
that one
no, go on ahead.
let's see here. Iranian actor Nasser Malik Motier.
Motier?
Motier,
Yes.
88. It's one of the things about Iranian actors. We'll be
Maybe-
seeing more about that because we're seeing more and more Iranian films
Maybe
break
and
through.
black and hot mini pants. And then there were none. Wow, that's kind of cool.
There were
I'll have to see
no
that
hot
version.
mini pants after that. But still, that's
Yeah.
It could have been early on because keep in mind before that whole thing,
Right.
Iran was much more open to a lot of these.
Well, they still have a thriving film community.
Oh yeah, there's some good things coming out.
I've been
of
saying a lot that I'm a big fan of Asghar Farhadi, but I know he's not the only big director working now.
Sergio Graziani, an
Uh-huh.
Italian actor, The 5 Days, Good Night, and Ladies and
I
Gentlemen.
think that's Good Night, Ladies and Gentlemen.
Good Night,
I could be
Ladies and-
wrong, but
Well, either case, yeah.
I think I do know that name. I've probably seen him in a couple things.
Let's see. So we're getting very close.
Uh-huh. We're up to the
Geeta
26th.
Kapoor, 57, not 87.
Mm-hmm.
Indian actress.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Radio personalities.
Right.
So on the 27th,
Mm-hmm.
Julio Ribera, Spanish comics artist and screenwriter,
Hmm.
age
Cool,
91.
cool.
Madala Ranga Rao, 70, Indian actor and film producer.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Wait, okay. I like this name. Okay, Andy McQueen is an Australian bass guitarist. They don't say how old. Yeah. But the name of the band apparently is Exploding White Mice.
Yeah, you can look that up.
I'm not familiar with that group, but now I kind of want to look that up.
Let's see here. And the 28th, we don't have that
Yeah,
much, but there was
not
one
much has been
today
missed.
that passed. I
Was there
remember
one today?
seeing it, but again, I can't think of the name of it. So why don't you
Of
go
it?
ahead? Why don't you go ahead and go to the news that you wanted to get to? You said you had some
Okay.
sad news and
Okay.
some others, and I will look at. Oh, okay, I found it. Never mind.
Okay.
I will keep it. All right. Today, age 81,
Mhm.
Atari co-founder
Oh yeah.
Ted Dabney died. Atari's had some pretty crappy stuff about them at these days.
Mhm.
I mean, E.T. Caused the video game crash that we had and all of those,
Mm.
but Atari really was what had video games take off.
Right.
They really are what has made video games what they are today. So it's very important when you look at these people, these figures, for media in general.
And it
who have
also
passed.
it also factors pretty heavily into the book I just read. That's goes very heavy into the history of video gaming. We'll come up to that one in a little bit, but yeah. So I guess we'll go from deaths to big positive news. There've been a couple of notable weddings in the past 2 weeks. Of course, I'm sure everyone, unless you live under a rock, heard about the whole thing with the royal wedding. But the other one, you found one that was interesting.
Yes. It's weird. I can never remember his name unless I want to.
Hugh
but
Grant.
Hugh Grant, yeah. Hugh Grant's finally tying the knot at age 57. I guess
57.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, one of the most eligible bachelors, especially
really.
in the late 90s, early 2000s, he was like
One of
the
those
heart.
man whores.
But he was considered the heartthrob of every woman with those romantic
What?
comedies and all that he was in. But he's finally tied himself down.
Mhm.
He's married his longtime girlfriend Anna Eberstein.
Hmm.
So,
Right.
so anybody who was holding out hope, I'm sorry that he's just finally retiring. Do it.
All right. Well, I'm sure they probably. Yeah, never mind. Well, okay. So in other news,
Yeah.
very notable, very exciting news is some release news that's been announced. Licensor news. Discotech has announced several series in the past couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
They are re-releasing the Devilman OVA, Angel Cop, which I think were both manga releases originally, or ADV or something along those lines. I know ADV originally released All-Purpose Cultural Cat Girl Nuku Nuku.
Oh yeah,
And
I got a great set.
You got an awesome set for that, and I am.
That was right up there, as a matter of fact.
Let's get it down here. And I kind of envy him this set.
That's got all of them.
Yeah, it's got the whole series.
It's Kitten Caboodle edition.
Yeah, the Kitten Caboodle edition.
It says that looks like a cat food.
It's sort of. It's the OVA that started it, the TV series, and then Dash, which was the sequel series. And Discotech has licensed all three series, so I'm excited. I only have the OVA, and this is so out of print, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
So. And it's a fun series.
I don't want any of those falling back behind.
Yeah. It's a fun series, a little silly, but it's fun. And then we have the Law of Ueki, which was that also an ADV release?
Oh, it's been so long since I've heard about that series.
And Cardcaptor Sakura, the second movie, The Sealed Card. So those are all pretty exciting releases there. And then Sentai Section 23's Made in Japan label has announced two new releases. Gun Parade March, which, who originally did that one? Was that Genian or ADV?
I feel like that was an ADV, but
I don't remember.
Could be wrong.
And I don't believe this one's been released before. Sentai did a half-assed attempt to release Glass Mask. But no, I don't know that anyone's ever put out the 1984 series.
Yeah, the original.
But Made in Japan is now releasing that one.
So maybe it'll trigger them to finish it off, or
maybe
drop the license, give it to somebody else. When you said half-assed, it's actually literally half of the series.
Oh, and there was
released.
one. Oh, that was one other licensure news. I don't know if you picked up on this or not, and I couldn't really tell from the press release if this is an announcement of a physical release or if it has more to do with streaming. But G-Kids has acquired the North American rights to the Ghibli series Ronya the Robber's Daughter.
Oh, that'll be
good. That'll be very exciting. We've been watching that at about an episode every 3 months or thereabouts, but we're slowly getting through it. It's really neat. It's a little CGI-ish, and it's not as pretty as
kind of cutesy.
Yeah, it is. It's not near as lovely as the hand-drawn Ghibli stuff, but it still has that sort of that Ghibli look in a lot of ways, and it's a neat little series. And considering that that's already streaming on Amazon, I think it is a home video announcement, which is cool. You know, that's really cool. And then I guess if you want to do one while I'm trying to remember what else.
I'll try to bring up some darker, but still, in a way, it's sort of like a Me Too update. Two major ones.
Two big ones.
Harvey Weinstein did the Perp Walk, which to many people was a joy because he was. Well, he is the big slime ball poster boy for the Me Too movement. So we will see if he actually does any time, but he is facing legal charges now.
He was officially taken into custody, which is very nice, at least temporarily.
Well, he's out on bond now.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously. The other one is pretty heartbreaking news, and I'm like, we need to stop with the people that don't.
Well,
I don't know.
I mean, Morgan Freeman is now on that. It's not enough for any legal charges. I mean, these are just harassment talks. But there could be some civil suits.
Yeah.
And a lot of his reputation is pretty much down now. I hate to say it, but is one of the things that's a sad thing about it is regardless of whether things are founded or unfounded, he is going to be tarnished from this point forward. He'll be looked at as a sexual predator, and he may be. I don't know. But it is kind of sad to see it. Many people are actually comparing him to Bill Cosby, which I think is not an apt comparison. That was all-out rape versus that. Though still, it is sad to see people who you actually look at or had looked at with some sort of respect, and then you say, okay, well, these guys are not as respectable as in the past. And the bit of news I had forgotten about, so there's been a lot of time since we've done one of these updates.
Yeah.
Woody Allen's son, not the one that's actively hating on him, Moses, has actually written a rebuttal to Dylan Farrow's accusation, saying, look, this could not have happened. 1, we did not have a train. 2, the attic was not big enough for any of that to happen. 3, our mother would not have allowed anyone near him, much less alone with him during those times, because she was actively out against him. And of course, then he also made allegations that Mia Farrow was very abusive to all of them, verbally, psychologically, and physically. Now, Dylan Farrow is saying none of that's true. It's all lies. It's all what you want. It's all what you want to believe in this particular. I thought it was worth throwing out there just because it is odd. He's not one that has been in the limelight very often. Matter of fact, this is actually, oddly enough, this is one of those that has been he's been very private. So it's just weird to see him speak out about this stuff right now. So it just and of course Woody Allen is not saying anything one way or the other. So we'll see how that goes with that. It might be a little bit of both, might be one or the other, might be neither. But always good to look into it. Woody Allen is one of those weird ones when it comes to, because he's a weird, eccentric individual anyway. But as far as the Me Too movement, he's been an odd one, because in truth, there's been nothing new other than the past allegations. And on top of that, whereas all these other people, they have like 20, 30 people coming out, still just the one. But again, right now he's also kind of on the blacklist. Nobody wants to work with him. He has to get like a whole bunch of people who are either unknowns or it's there because you
might have to permanently move to Europe.
Yeah, because you associate with him, you're blacklisted essentially, and that's it may be fair, it may not be fair. Again, none of this has been shown one way or the other.
Yeah.
But there's some of the Me Too movement news.
Yeah. And that's just a whole lot of crazy. I mean, like I said, some of this stuff, like, people like Weinstein, I guess that's good. But yeah, it's frustrating when they're ones that you really, it's one thing if you respect them as an artist. Like, I definitely respect Kevin Spacey as an actor, but I always thought there was something off about him.
Yeah, well.
He didn't seem like someone you'd want to hang out with or anything. You know what I mean?
Not the kind of person you would want to be around, definitely.
But I mean, some folks, it's harder to wrap your head around. Morgan Freeman's one of those. So Garrison Keillor was another one. I was like, oh my god. I was like, but whatever. We'll see.
Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, like I say, I'm surprised with some. I mean, with the guy from Bruce Willis. I would not be surprised to find
he's a jerk.
Yeah, like I say, he's considered like the big jerk. I'm surprised he hasn't had like 90 women come out against him, because he seems like the kind of person that would have 90 women come out against him.
And he also seems like the kind of person that would hunt them down and.
Yeah, that's true. But he would. But he's kind of would maybe not harass, but would definitely make lewd remarks. And it is. I mean, lewd remarks is enough to get to this list. So I was just curious about that. That seems weird that certain ones just aren't coming. But again, you never know.
Right. So on a much more interesting. That's interesting, but like a much more generally positive note. Major thing this week, or at least for book nerds like me, is a major thing this week. PBS started airing their Great American Read series, and they've put out the list for all to see. And they're encouraging people to vote, and hopefully we'll include a link here for you to go and vote on your choice. As with any list, there are some glaring omissions, and as with any list, there are some head scratchers. 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh my!
Oh.
Inner goddess and all.
So let's see. Some of the bigger head scratchers, of course, 50 Shades of Grey, freaking Twilight. This was one okay, if you're going to a vampire one, you got Twilight, but you do not have Dracula.
Yeah. They did have Frankenstein.
Yeah, Frankenstein. I like Dracula. That was good. I like Frankenstein too, but this is definitely.
She's highbrow.
Do it.
She's highbrow.
Yeah, she is highbrow. I'll give you that.
Yeah, that's true. And then you get. There were a few others. Like I was a little worried. Like some that I have not read because I picked up the book, flipped through them, and determined that I don't know I can read this. It's bad. Mm-hmm. Twilight was one of those.
Yeah, Twilight.
The what?
Amen.
Yeah, and then the Left Behind series is awful writing, and then Da Vinci Code. I was not impressed with the writing, but some of the stuff. I'm a huge fan of Isabel Allende, so I didn't like that the House of the Spirits was left off. But some of the big ones, Roald Dahl's completely MIA, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, really. Mm-hmm. And then you got, they made room for James Patterson, Dan Brown, Stephanie Meyer, but no love for Kristen Hanna, for John Grisham. And there's a list of, you could go on and on, of popular authors that were left off. Louise Penny, Sue Grafton, they made room for Nicholas Sparks, Although The Notebook being on there, I'm not at all surprised,
Yeah, The Notebook.
Yeah. And then there is some genuinely good stuff. I am thrilled and astonished that The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy made the list. And it's really funny because the night before the list came out, or the night before I saw it, I had just picked up and started reading Ready Player One by Ernest Cline, and that made the list. And I finished it last night, and that's a pretty good book, and I enjoyed it. But some of them were kind of like really new, like I loved Andy Weir's The Martian, but the book's 2 years old, 2.5 years old. It's not an old book. And so I wondered where the cutoff point was, or if there was one. And of course, each author gets one book. So sometimes you had really notable ones really notable stuff that was left off because something else was on there. Like, I'm sure you would agree that The Dark Tower probably could have been in contention. But The Stand represented for Stephen King, and I got no problem with that, But there were several authors where the books I've read by them were not on the list, so I've not read the one on the list. And among those, I cannot swear that I've read Grapes of Wrath. I've read 3 separate books by John Steinbeck, but I don't know if I've read Grapes of Wrath. I've read Song of Solomon and The Bluest Eye, but I've not read Beloved by Toni Morrison. So I've read A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens, but not Great Expectations. So I guess I need to brush up on some. I at least got the author there. But we've been making a game of it at work of like how many everyone has read, and I kind of hate to say it, but most of us at work have read roughly a third or a fourth. But you gotta start somewhere, and I see it as challenge. I own about 6 of the books, and partly because I haven't read them, partly because I own them. Because when there's not a due date on there, they sit on the shelf. So one of these days, and I'll have to dig those out of storage and read them next.
I read notoriously slowly, so if I'm into a book It could be, depending on the size of the book,
Mhm.
it could be anywhere from 1 month to 6 months per book. So it's just one of those lower end, though. Actually, oddly enough, I have read the Twilight trilogy,
Mhm.
and all things being equal, they are not bad books. They are not great books, but they did great things or terrible things, but nevertheless great things indeed.
Yes. To quote another series that was on
Exactly.
there. Of course, the Harry Potter series had to be on there.
But she has shown herself as a competent author, which 50 Shades has not.
You
And-
never read 50 Shades.
no, but you've read it multiple times.
Yes, we heard the running commentary. But I will say he has read a lengthy series I have not read. I do need to read the Discworld series, and that's
not Discworld.
oh, not Discworld.
You're thinking Terry Pratchett, and
Wait,
he's not
which
even
one-
American.
Which one was it? Well,
you're talking
hell.
Wheel of Time.
Wheel of Time. I'm sorry, I'm getting it, but yeah, I got him confused. I haven't read either one.
Oh, yeah.
Wheel of Time was on there, yeah.
It is an excellent fantasy series,
But
but
them
it is
being
an
American
investment.
means nothing to do with it.
Well, you
Charles
see.
Dickens not American.
That's true.
Lewis Carroll wasn't
You know,
American.
that's what they should do. I mean, if they're going to call it the American Reads, it should be about American authors. And,
Yeah, it's what's most popular in America, I guess, which helps to explain the dearth
that's the reason
of
why
international stuff.
That's why 50 Shades of Grey and Twilight's on there. If you're talking
it's
about what's
that
popular.
middle-aged woman crowd.
It's not. If it's what's popular, then yeah, those things are apt to be on there.
Yeah, but like I said, there's some really popular stuff that at least matches them, or, well, maybe not matches, but gets there, that's better. And then there's really good stuff that's not, not as popular, but,
Well,
that's better.
I have two stories that I'm going to move on to, and then one
Okay.
I would like to end with. So,
Okay.
if you have anything after these two, let me know.
Yeah, I'm still trying to think.
So think about that. First off, have you ever wanted to own a piece of the Death Star for your very own? Well, guess what? They are for sale.
Ooh. For $1
Actually,
million.
One was picked up because a piece of it was picked out of a landfill and is now up for sale. Yeah. So, you've got
one
the...
man's trash.
Yeah, you know how it is. They did not shut... They shut off the all of the trash compactors on the containment level. And the detention level. And then... so that's what happens when you shut off the trash compactors. The trash actually sits there. And Kevin Smith...
Mm-hmm.
in setting up another gem of a movie, I'm sure,
I'm sure.
has confirmed that they are doing a second Jay and Silent Bob film. And this is how many years since the Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back movie where he said he was retiring the characters?
He didn't say he was going to retire him in that movie.
Yeah, he said that was going to be their last appearance.
Well, it hasn't been. They've done
I'm
several.
not saying that it was.
Right.
They came back in Clerks 2.
Yeah, exactly.
But he wasn't going to do a Clerks 2. Keep in mind that at that point he was basically saying, this is the end of my kind of less serious past. I'm going to be doing more serious films like Jersey Girl in the future. And
you see how that worked for him.
and that just didn't work. So
I'll admit, I like Jersey Girl.
So we're
Right.
going back to he's been trying to go back to square one. It's not been working that well. Though some of the horror films are interesting. Red State was very interesting. I haven't watched Tusk, I'll admit. Zack and Miri Make a Porno was very good. And Yoga Hosers was trash. But we'll see. Actually, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back is a guilty pleasure of mine. I do enjoy watching it.
Yes.
It is as lowbrow as you can possibly get. But that's all.
Damn
Jay
it,
and Silent
Ben! I
Bob
said
are
I'm
out.
busy. I love that part.
So, do you have anything else before we
Well, this is not news exactly so much as just general gossip, sort of like a little blog. But I did see something today that I was like, yes. The apparently James Gunn tweeted that he went to see the new Deadpool and absolutely loved it. And Ryan Reynolds said, crossover? And James Gunn's like, yes, please. And it's like, I know there's probably very little chance of that, but if Deadpool gets to chill with the Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm
would be
all
fun.
for it. So, yeah, we'll
Well,
see.
they are in the same universe, but
Technically.
of course Fox is in a bidding war. And I've said this before. I've said this before on there, and people are like, no, you're not hearing it right. But now it's official that Comcast is trying to get Fox, and they have outbid
Trying
Disney.
to, but they're still reporting that Disney has it.
Yeah, right now they've outbid Disney, but
Ah.
Disney is not quite letting go yet, so Disney might be countering.
Because actually, this very article that I looked at had said Fox is with Disney. So it could be that the negotiations are being misrepresented to the media, or it could be that
It
Yeah,
might
I
not
don't
be
know.
over yet. This
It
might
might not
be
be over
a
yet.
last-ditch thing, and Disney's saying, well, you signed it with us.
right.
And
Mhm.
then Fox might be saying, well, but they're offering us much more.
Yeah.
Either way, I would prefer...
Pay up, mouse.
Actually, what they should just say is, okay, well, Comcast, you get everything else. Disney, you get all the Marvel properties. All right, we're good. I don't think Comcast would go for that, though.
I'm not sure that Disney would go for that either, because they
Yeah.
want it all. Well, they weren't already taking it all. So
I mean-
so Comcast gets stuck with the stuff that Disney didn't want in the first place, and then maybe a
Exactly.
few other things.
So, we could have a Mickey Mouse Simpsons crossover with the Predator hunting them.
Okay, that's an odd thought.
Yeah, well, I like to put a couple of odd ones in there just for him.
Okay.
So, do you have anything else before I
I
go to my
guess
last
that's it. I feel like there was something else, but I've got the big ones.
So, there is one... Some of you may have heard about the movie The Happy Time Murders, which is a dark Muppet murder oriented film. With, where Muppets are living along, or puppets really, not Muppets. Those are owned by
What was
Disney.
what was it? Bad Taste? That was
Similar to Bad Taste,
Yeah.
yeah. Or actually Meet the Feebles.
Meet the
Good one.
Feebles. Yeah, right.
That's the one, really. The Peter Jackson film. But at the same time, Sesame Street's not happy about that. They feel they're being misrepresented by this. So they're suing. Well, they seem to have a good sense of humor over at the Happy Town Murders set, so they have sent their own lawyer, who is a puppet. And I find this highly entertaining that he's the one who is doing the legal representation, at least the mic portion of it, the face portion of the legal rep. Which this is interesting, and provided that Sesame Street does not win their suit and end this project, this could turn out to be an extremely large amount of publicity that they could use to boost this otherwise probably going to be lesser known film. So I look forward to that.
It sounds fun.
So ending on that kind of fun, slightly twisted note, we will see you, of course, on the next video. So subscribe, like, share, and comment.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.